I watched your session with Jetter, and it was a great episode.
I appreciate it. So as we segue into that, so today on the Recovery Mode podcast, we have our friend John Wennstrom, Chapter 5 contributor from the Detroit area. He's a little sweaty from saying goodbye to his kids, and everything else that we were just talking about. John, welcome. I appreciate your time and everything else to talk about, everything recovery, everything about you and what your contribution was to our wonderful thing. Do you want to start off by just saying who you are and what you're all about?
Sure. First of all, thank you, Robert, for having me on. I really appreciate it. Yeah, today was our last day for our students. And even though we haven't been in session, we invited all 500 plus of our families to come in today for a farewell parade. So cool. Great day, beautiful to see their faces as they drove by, and chance to say goodbye and have some closure for the year. So I'm in Livonia, Michigan. So we're Metro Detroit. I'm about 20 minutes outside of Detroit. And I'm just wrapping up my 25th year in education. I know it's amazing. I can't believe it's been that long. Teacher, coach, principal, my favorite job. And also this year in July, I'm beginning my term as president of the Michigan Elementary and Middle School Principals Association. So
very cool.
It's just been a wonderful organization for me, and my turn to give back for the year and help others. So been very fortunate in my school districts and with my colleagues that I've had support with, including you, Robert.
Yeah, I have to say out loud right away, Mr. Wennstrom is one of the very first, and I always thank him for it. Anytime I put anything out on Facebook for pushing boundaries for recovery mode, he is the very first one that always pushes that out for me. So I do appreciate that, sir. As always, love to see everyone looking and always being interested in what we do. Speaking of that, so just in case anyone doesn't know, so what we're talking about today, and I'll share my screen with the entire world. So we can't do my screen. Oh, cool. So if we'll try this for the next time so we don't shut down the whole thing together. So if you look on the little ticker tape parade thing on the bottom, talking about recovery mode on pushboundconsulting.com, click the link, download the book. It's a 158-page free ebook that talks about what everyone is talking about right now in education when it comes to recovery, what school's going to look like. I just had a principal just emailed me yesterday with a tentative summer schedule, and he was saying October 24th, October 25th, October 26th, optimistic, depending on what Illinois and I'm sure the rest of the world is going to do. So before we dive into the book, sir, what's your take on what we just went through, like e-learning, successes? Yeah, I know. We only got like 20, 30 minutes. It's not like a 3 hour.
Let me shrink it down. I got to say, if I could, sum it up, quickly, I am just overwhelmed with pride at the way that my team and teams across the country, educators, came together and literally overnight took the learning that was the teaching and learning that was going on in the classrooms, moved it to a distance learning setting with little to no training. So I've said to my team many times, and I mean it sincerely, I said, I think all of this has shown the world what educators are made out of, and that whatever comes our way, we will tackle it. And that was what got me excited about this project of recovery mode, of saying together, let's find these solutions and look ways to help and support each other. So yeah, I'm filled with pride with what I've seen educators in my building, in our district, across the state, and across the country do.
Definitely. I mean, it's just, we all had to come together really quickly. I mean, I'm sure your guys' blueprint looked completely different from mine, looked completely different from other states and everything. And we all just forged it together and just, hammer and chiseled it together and made it work.
Yep. We worked and created it as we went.
It's one of those things. I mean, do you think, what do you think would be improvements that possibly we could have done to make it better, to make it something we could have done to implement it like in a stronger way?
I think, moving forward, I always try to think of moving forward, how can we make it better? I think additional training for educators of how to best teach content online, but also I think of helping train our families, our communities, our parents.
That's
With
definitely.
how do you help? I hear that on a weekly basis from our families of saying, what more can I do to, to help my child? So I think, yep, we need to continue training teachers, but we also need to give resources to families as well.
Definitely, definitely. So going into your contributions during chapter 5, I have something planned for you. So energy consists of having both the will and strength to transform your vision into reality. Can you tell me what you're trying to get into with that, the thought process going into that, and kind of
Yeah,
what you did for your chapter?
absolutely. So I think everything starts with having that vision, that mission, that vision. And I shared in the chapter, I look at my mission as I want to inspire educators. So when I come in, I have a team of professionals, they know their business. I look at my job as I want to inspire them, keep them energized, support them, help guide them in a common vision that we're working together. But it starts with having that mission of what is it that you want to do, and then following up with it, you have to have action. It's not enough to have it in your head and to say I've got this great idea, or put a placard up on the wall. That those are great for reminders for me, but the reality is we as educational leaders need to go out and do. So when I'm asking my teachers to help their family stay connected, I need to lead by example. I need to go out and read a story online or reach out to my families and connect. So I think it starts with that mission of, what is it that I believe? What is it that I want to accomplish? But then following up with action of saying, okay, what am I purposely doing to make that a reality?
Definitely. And you can follow, by the way, we'll talk about plugs later, but you can follow John on his Facebook page where he does his stories, his reading, shout outs to his kid, to his students. I mean, this guy's more over Facebook and everything else than I am. And I'm the social media director. I'm just like, oh, there's John again. Let's push that forward that out, share it. So and that's a great thing that you were talking about as well, because my last 2 schools, I've been in a current school now for 2 years. And before that, I was at a school for 2 years. And the difference in the leadership that you just talked about is it's like I go into my principal's office or any department chair or any administrator, I feel refreshed. I feel energized. I feel like, okay, I can go tackle this. My last school, very toxic environment, never wanted to go into those offices. I feared for what would happen. And that was the thing when I finally got out of there and came into the school I'm in and surrounded myself with those people that, would do the things with us instead of just pointing and working, is definitely what you said. It just, you could see it in action all the way through. Now,
Absolutely.
to be honest though, in looking at your chapter, you said you felt a little hypocritical writing your chapter. Why could you share with us why you felt this way?
Yeah, because I strongly believe that everything with leadership, it starts with you. You have to have that vision. You have to have the knowledge. You have to take the action to do it. You have to lead by example. And as I'm saying that, I start off with self-care. That as educators, we need to take care of ourselves before we can take care of our students, our teams, our colleagues. And I said I felt hypocritical about that because I'll be honest, a lot of times my own special physical well-being gets shoved off to the side. I don't have as healthy eating habits as I wish. I certainly don't have as healthy exercise habits as I wish. And so as I'm writing this out, I'm saying, look, it starts with us. We need to lead by example. And then I'm checking off the list saying, okay, I haven't been doing that. I haven't been doing that. So this was also a call for me to say, all right, Wennstrom, you're saying to people, you need to take care of yourself first. You need to start doing that as well, too.
Okay. I mean, and that's true too. I mean, I was talking with Justin Ashley on chapter 2, and he was sharing his testimonial, his story about stuff, and his lack of like taking care of himself and what it did to him and how he was able to come back from that. So yeah, that's definitely something with educators. I mean, is there one Is there one thing? I mean, you named off mine. Eating habits could be better. I could be exercising more. I could be doing this and that. But what's the one thing that you think people should take, like that number one thing to take care of? Is it the mental? Is it the physical? Is it everything? Is it?
I think of having I believe that having that mental balance of saying I need my mind clear of and focused on what it is I want to do. As far as my physical, what I do, my routine is I take a walk every morning with my dog. And to me, as little as that seems, just that walk around the block helps clear my head, helps keep me focused, does give me some physical activity. And I also feel like we need spiritual balance as well too. So I feel, and whatever that looks like, for each individual, I think we have to have that full balance of what am I doing for myself physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. So I feel like when I say balance, I certainly don't have good balance. I feel like I'm juggling plates all the time. But what I do try to do is hit each of those areas every day and say, am I doing something in each of these areas to help take care of me so that I can take care of others?
Excellent. So, I mean, when we talk about this whole with leadership and everything that you're awesome at, and definitely the things that you're putting forward. Oh, come on. You're awesome at this. You're the expert. You're the pro, man. Come on. You know that. But if you were to continue your chapter,
yeah,
because your chapter talks about authentic energy and everything we just discussed, how would you continue it? Like, if you're able to go more, what would you add to it?
So I really think, I talk a part in the chapter about being authentic, about being you. And to me, that is the drainer for most people. People say, well, geez, where do you get your energy? Where do you focus on? When you are being genuine to yourself, to your mission of what you believe in, and truly being who you are, that's where that energy comes from. It's coming from a place of, this is who I am. This is what I believe. I am so thankful every day that I get to live and work in a job where I actually get to match my mission with what I do every day. So I think that authenticity of people say energy. For me, a lot of times it's nothing that I have more energy than anyone else. It's I get to live, what I'm believing. So when I'm excited about something, I'm really excited about something. And I think that comes out sometimes is that what we call leadership energy, or what I call leadership energy in that chapter. But it's really coming from a sense of authenticity of saying, yeah, I want to help teachers be inspired. I want kids to believe in what they're doing. I want to set high expectations for myself and for our team. So I think if there was an area where I would branch out and keep on writing about, it would be about that authenticity, about be who you are and also who you want to be. That's the other thing too of, I often fall short of where I want to be with things. But I think with that authenticity of saying, look, I'm going to own my mistakes, and I have many. I'm going to own when we take the wrong turn and say, all right, but today I'm going to try to make it better. To me, energy grows from that as well too. Of authenticity is not just, yep, I'm excited about what I do. Authenticity also means, yep, when I make a mistake, I say I make a mistake, and we move on together. That's very freeing. As a young principal, when I first started off, I was very fearful of ever admitting mistakes or fearful of making a wrong turn. Now I almost look at it as a strength of saying, yep, okay, I learned from that. We're going to move on from there. So I think that authenticity piece, I could probably write another chapter about.
Well, and that's the thing too. I mean, and with the staff that you work with and some of the educational people that I've encountered, tell me if this is not true. So many people, when they make mistakes and they haven't been in education for a long period of time, they throw their hands up. They're like, oh, and we're done. It's like, I'm done. That's it. No more. And they just don't understand. You have to take that step back and really just own it and move forward. And, there's so many people that I've known that have left the profession because of it. And it's like, why? You're a great teacher. Come back. I screwed up. You got to own it. change it. That's how we develop to be better people, and we move forward. And I just think, and that's very well spoken, to have that authenticity, to make sure that, you know, you own what you do and you learn from it. You make a mistake, that's fine. You just pick it up the next day and you keep going.
I think our culture sometimes makes us fearful of ever admitting a mistake, or lose confidence in us. I found the opposite to be true. I feel like the more authentic people are, I'm drawn to people who are authentic and say, yep, I just made a mistake. I learned from it. Let's move on. So
definitely. And I wish there were more. I wish there was. I mean, I'm trying to learn to surround myself more with those people, and, you know, pushing boundaries and everything else. I found a great group of people with you guys, but just more in my immediate area, just to find those people, just to make sure that, you know, you get your profession builds from it, and you can learn so much.
Absolutely.
As we close out for today, sir, what's your hopes for the fall?
Oh boy.
Like I said,
yeah. My hope, and I said this to almost every family that as they came through our parade today, they said, what do you think is going to happen? I said, I will tell you what I hope is going to happen. I hope we are back face to face, you know, that we see those smiling faces of our kids, that we are seeing each other, our colleagues, in person and planning together. Well, I hope that's what happens. I am confident. I'm very confident that whatever happens, whatever shape education takes in the fall, we will make it happen. We will make it work, and we will thrive, not just survive. So I keep telling my team that, but I mean it sincerely, that I have faith in us. Again, my hope, we're back in face to face. I'm a people person. I get my energy from being around people, but if not, we will make this work, whatever scenario we have in the fall.
And I think the one thing that I've echoed this through the many chapters that I've done so far with this podcast is that I think what this thing, as horrible as it is, and please, I'll take a minute. Everyone, please stay safe. The thing is still out there. Wear your masks, follow the precautions. We all want to make sure everyone is safe, from pushing boundaries to everyone out there. So I want to say that right off the bat. But it's people just, this thing showed that we need teachers. Like there's been so many times that people have said online's the way, computers are the way. I think this showed it was good and bad. It was good that it showed that the structure that we provide in our classroom is needed by our students. Mm-hmm. And it also showed the lack of structure at home for certain students, or the lack of resources that they may have, impacts their learning tremendously, which is why we need to have schools. We need to be there, and they need to be in our classroom.
Agreed.
It's one of those things where you look at it and be like, right. I did the right job. I was at the right job. So as we go out, sir, today, definitely I appreciate giving me some time today. Is there any social media plugs you want to plug out there for people to follow you at? Any projects that you have on the side? Because I know podcaster, blogger. I know your social media is out there. I don't know if there's any books in the works. You never know, but
working on some things right now. So ask me in a couple months. Ask me in a couple months. I am on Twitter at John Jon_Wennstrom, Wennstrom, and on Facebook, Jonathon Wennstrom. And again, part of the being consistent and genuine, what I put out there is what I believe, and what I'm trying to promote, which is the positives, and that educators need one another. We need to support one another, and together we can do anything.
And if you guys ever need someone to follow that's a very positive person that I enjoy every time I see him on Facebook videos or whatever the case may be, definitely give him a follow. It's definitely worthwhile. You know, and as we build our PLCs, as we build everything and we grow, Mr. Wennstrom is definitely someone you want to put in your circle. So definitely. John, I thank you. Any final thoughts moving off, or?
Just thank you. I appreciate you, and I appreciate being a part of the Pushing Boundaries team. Again, I think we're asking the right questions. We're connecting people together, and together we're going to make everything work. So.
Yeah, that is the ultimate goal, and definitely here at Pushing Boundaries, the Recovery Mode Podcast, Chapter 5 with Mr. Wennstrom. We want to say definitely, what are you doing to push the boundaries of your classroom, no matter if it's in the classroom or through a computer? What are you doing to make it matter for those kids, for your students? So, John, I appreciate your time, sir. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you,
and thank you, everyone. We'll see you next week with Chapter 6. And I don't remember. That's really bad of me. I don't remember who's Chapter 6.
I think it's Rebecca.
It's Rebecca. Okay, because I know she's moving. So I gotta time it right because I know she's moving this week. So we got to make sure we time it right with her. So don't tell her I forgot.
Their word.
Wait. Oh, darn it. We're on here. Oh.
You're on your own, buddy.
John, thank you, sir. We'll talk soon.
Take care, my friend. Bye-bye.
Bye.